Alright everyone, I got another freebie. Before I begin this video, if you hear any music in the background, which you might hear right now or possibly not, that's coming from the room next to mine, and I have already told them to turn it down and they have not done so. So anyway, just try to ignore it. I'm trying to do this video without getting interrupted, and yeah. So anyway, I got another free laptop today. And this time it wasn't from the landfill and it wasn't sitting on the curb. This was actually in someone's house in this condition. Now, due to the glare from that light, you probably can't notice it, but now can you notice it? Look at that. Deep, deep scratches. And you've probably already seen what the other problem is. This is a very, very sad looking laptop, and to be quite honest with all of you, it is a pretty decent one. You know, this is the kind of laptop that I would like to have throwing around my house, you know, just if I don't want to use my tablet computer, I would prefer to use a bigger computer with a much bigger screen. And there's the music again. I'm trying to ignore it, but it's getting to the point where I'm going to lose it. Anyway, this computer was owned by a mother and a family, and it basically sat in their closet for, I think a couple of years or so, and then they saw my donation group on Facebook, and I mentioned in the group, I will take broken laptops. Now when I say that, I was meaning to the point where the screen is cracked or it doesn't turn on anymore. That kind of broken. But this one is going to be a real shocker to everyone. And I'm quite shocked myself because I've never seen a laptop at this age in this kind of condition in my life. So, I'm going to introduce you all to the Emachines D620. I know, kind of reminds you of Dell Latitude D620, but no, it's a Emachines D620. Now, I made a video about my mother's laptop, and this one is basically made from the same design, and I'll explain. The way the screen lid is designed, it's the same color, and it's, I think, about the same size. Or no, I think my mother's is probably about 15 inch, and this one's a 14 inch. And I'm gonna open it right now. Oh shit. So, right from opening it, you can obviously tell it was made from the same casing as my mother's Acer Travelmate. And Emachines and Acer are basically the same company. No shit, Sherlock. The keyboard is exactly the same as my mother's. It has, I think it's a Canadian and British keyboard because it has the pounds sign. I think this is a British keyboard too. I don't know. But the one on my mother's Acer Travelmate is exactly the same. It has that same dip in it, how it kind of curves like that. So if her keyboard died, I could just replace it with this. If there's a huge crack in her case, I could replace it with this one. Even though the mouse buttons are a little bit smaller and hers has a fingerprint scanner, I can still replace it with this computer case. And heck, if I even want to, I can replace it with this plastic power board. Or plastic I don't know what it's called. Well, let's just call it a plastic doohickey. So yeah, even though this computer is a different brand, which is Emachines, but it's still Acer either way, no matter how you look at it. You know, it can be used on Acer computers as well, as long as the shell casing are the same. Now, surprisingly, the battery on this machine is very good. You know, it even has its own charger. Perfect. The battery's fine. Keyboard works like brand new. Mousepad and buttons work without any hard effort. The power button does work, but I can't put this on right now, and I'll explain why. When I got this machine, it was in two pieces, and it still is. It's resting on my flat screen monitor here. You notice that the screen is completely severed. And when I mean severed, I mean brutally severed. Look at that. That's what happens when the hinges on this laptop get so stiff that you cannot close it. And I'll even show you guys how stiff those hinges are. I have here a pair of pliers. I'm just going to grab it. Okay, so that one is really stiff. Let's try the other one. Yeah, so the hinges on this laptop are so stiff that you actually have to use something to force them to move. Like they're stuck in those positions. They will not move unless you put force on them. But another thing that kind of caught my surprise, not only did the hinges break, but there's one of the wireless cables. There's one. There's the other. Oh, shit. Oh, and this cable is basically that right there. So, okay, so these are the two wireless cables right there. They're completely severed, and they would have been one wire up here and one up there. I don't know what this wire is, though. I really don't. It's a red wire, and it has a little bit black on it, and I don't know what exactly it goes to. I hope nothing important, because if it goes to something important, I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into that. This cable here, I'm not sure what that goes to either. You know, this is all new to me, guys. I haven't taken this thing apart yet. This is how I got it. Yeah, I can't even move that. So yeah. And if you're wondering, this is one of the cheaper Emachine models. It has a blanking plate for where a webcam used to be. It was optional to have a webcam, and this one is one of the cheaper models that did not have one. So, yeah, what I'm trying to say here, guys, is that not only did the hinges break, but how did the wireless cables break is my question. Like, how is that even possible? Like, I'm surprised that the video cable isn't broken yet. The back screen casing is trashed. It's not salvageable. There's where it broke on one side, and that's where the other side broke. But surprisingly, The only thing that's actually good on this laptop is the front bezel. All the way around. Even the latches still work. Well, kind of. Well, they're not perfect, but they work. You know? Piss on it. The screen, on the other hand, didn't fare so well. The screen is totaled. It's bad. And I'm quite upset about that. So, anyway. But, given the fact that this machine has all of this damage on it, it still works, and it's unbelievable. Given the life that's had, it still works. And I've heard that these Emachines are prone to that damage. There's so many of these particular models on eBay, and usually the breaking point starts on the left side, which is right here. And after a while, it starts on the right side. So they're made out of a cheap plastic, and also they're made out of cheap materials like metals, because the hinges are very, very bad. So yeah, anyway. This one doesn't have audio in, which is the blue jack that would have been here. My mother's Acer laptop has the blue jack. But you do get your audio out and your microphone in. There's no Bluetooth on this computer, wasn't an option. But there's the wireless switch. This one was designed for Windows Vista Basic, but the good part is it has an AMD Athlon 64-bit processor. So I can put a 64-bit operating system on here. You do get a DVD rewritable drive, and I would assume that that would work. I'm not sure. I don't even know what the specs of the hard drive is. I have not even powered this on yet. I just came home, and here I'm sitting just recording this right now. I'm not even sure what works and what doesn't. On the right, we have two USB ports, which I would assume are 2.0, Ethernet, and VGA, and you have your power jack. I thought that was a crack for a second, right where the power jack plugs into, but it's not. And that's it. This is basically like one of the Acer Aspire 1 netbooks, where you have a few ports, that's it, nothing else. And I'm surprised that there's no PC MICA card slots or SD card slots. That kind of caught my surprise, but I think this was a very, very cheap computer, and they tried to make it affordable as possible by removing those options. If you went and bought the Acer TravelMate, like what my mother has, you would have gotten a fingerprint scanner, webcam, PC MICA card slot, the audio in, and you would have gotten an SD card slot, and probably extra USB ports. Because my mother has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She has 5 on her computer. This one only has 2. So anyway, enough babbling about this computer. Let's just fire it up and see what happens. Shit. Now, as I said, that the battery is pretty good. The reason why I said that is because I unplugged it before making the video, and I did turn it on, and the laptop had sat for 3 years, and that battery has held that charge ever since. So, if the battery has lasted for 3 years without being charged, it's pretty good. I just turned it on and then turned off because, like, it stayed on for about probably about a minute or so, and then it turned off. But just to hold that amount of charge left is pretty good. Okay, so we're going to use one of my keys. We're going to fire it up. Holy shit. Well, kind of got half of a screen. Not bad. I would assume it's running Windows Vista. I can't tell. Yes, I do have a monitor there, and I'll plug it in soon. I just want to see how much of the screen I can get on this thing. Given the fact that this computer has a lot of damage, the hard drive seems to be working fine. I do know that if you drop a laptop from a certain height, like these modern ones nowadays, the hard drive will shatter. And luckily this one doesn't seem to be in any distress or anything like that. Oh, the sound works. So I know this busted cable doesn't go to the speakers. Oh, look at that. Oh my god. Only half of the screen actually works. That is amazing. Wow. But over here, there's nothing left. So I'm going to try to work within this area for a sec. For Windows Vista, it's not all that slow. I'm kind of surprised about that. Look at that. I'm trying to maneuver these windows so I can see what I'm doing. Let's take a look at the hard drive size. I'm very intrigued on what size it would be. The hard drive is a 465 gigabyte drive. Holy shit. That is actually pretty good. My mother's laptop has a 140 gigabyte drive. This one has a 465 gigabyte hard drive. That is amazing. You'd think that a computer like this, the biggest piece of shit that you've ever seen in your life, actually has potential to it. I think the people who owned it upgraded the hard drive to this size, and after a while of enjoying it, this happened. Wow. That is pretty good. Oh, you can kind of see part of this screen working. Let's take a look at the system properties. Okay, so this is where it kind of lags a little bit. The amount of RAM is only 1 gigabyte. And my mother's laptop, which is the TravelMate, has 2 gigs. And the processor in this one is a 1.60 gigahertz AMD Athlon. The one in my mother's is a Core 2 Duo, and it has, I believe, 2 gigahertz, if that, I think. It has Service Pack 1 on here. I'm surprised it doesn't have Service Pack 3. I don't know how long this laptop has been like this for, but I guarantee you, probably a long time. Shit. Well, it's activated, that's for sure. Okay, so let's get out of this madness and hook it up to the monitor. I think I'm still able to do that. Okay. Cool. Now you can see what's going on. I'm just kind of putting my fingers under here so I can see. You know what? I can do this. Boink. There. So, now you got a half-top laptop. Awesome. Okay, so anyway, a lot of pictures on here, that's for sure. Let's see, does the internet work? Given the fact that the cables are all torn up and look like there's a murder. Wireless networks are available. Let's see. Oh my god, it actually sees my network. Even though the cables are torn in half. Let's see. Shit. Okay, so we're going to connect to my network, and we're going to see if it will connect. Okay, so close. Oh, I got a little globe down there. Let's see what happens. If it actually goes on the internet, I'll be surprised. Do have some light action there. Yeah, I don't think it's going to connect. Probably won't because, again, the cables are torn in half and it probably doesn't have the signal strength. I definitely bet it doesn't. Yeah, I don't think so. Anyway, yeah, okay. Well, I think the internet is kind of a bummer. So I'm going to close it, and oh, okay, so it's loading something, but I'm going to close it. Oh, never mind. Look at that. Nice. You can tell that the Flash player is out of date, and it probably won't play anything. Okay, let's see. Okay, so YouTube. Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, so it takes some time to load because it's Vista. We all know that. But, wow. What the hell is that? Not what it looks like. Okay, that was a little inappropriate. I saw this video from BF versus GF. It's pretty funny, but anyway. Anyway, so cool. YouTube works. Let's see what else works on here. Oh, let's see if I can play a DVD or no CD. If it's not damaged. Okay, so it detects that my HP computer is on the internet, detects my mother's computer, and it detects her boyfriend's computer. And it detects that there's a CD in there. Are you gonna play it, bastard? Oh! Nice. Cool. So, DVD drive works. Perfect. Now, I think I'm going to run out of time and my camera will automatically stop recording. Just want to quickly find out what size the video card is. Advanced settings, I just want to know. Okay, so it's an ATI Radeon X1200 series. It's the exact same video card that my Dell Latitude